Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers trade market dilemma exposed amid Jonas Valanciunas push. The Los Angeles Lakers' strong interest in Washington Wizards center Jonas Valanciunas is the worst-kept secret in the NBA. So, what's taking so long for the Lakers to land their coveted target since the offseason? Jovan Buha of The Athletic pointed out the challenge the Lakers are facing in the trade market after giving up 3 second-round picks to land Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton from the Brooklyn Nets. My sense lately, that I've been hearing, has been trending more toward them making a smaller move and probably using second-round draft capital, and the issue there is that their second-round draft capital isn't really worth that much because it's their pick and the Clippers' pick, and both of those picks are projected right now to be between like 45 and 52 depending on where those two teams finish in the standings, so those aren't the sexiest second-round picks, Buha said on his podcast Buha's Block following the Lakers' 102-101 win over the Nets on Friday, January 17. You typically want a first half of the second-round type pick. It's also the reason why the Lakers missed out on Nick Richards, who was the other center in their list of trade targets. The Charlotte Hornets sent Richards to the Lakers' Pacific Division rival Phoenix Suns for Josh Okogie, a 2026 Nuggets second-rounder and 2031 second-rounders, Denver, Phoenix, to Charlotte. The Hornets valued that 2031 second-round pick, which has a greater chance of falling into the early half of the second round. Richards was dominant in his Suns' debut, registering 21 points and 11 rebounds with 1 assist and a steal in just 29 minutes. The Wizards have been pushing the Lakers to give up more draft capital, Clutch Point's Anthony Irwin reported on December 30. Jonas Valanciunas has obviously been a popular name linked to the Lakers, and they're still considered relative leaders in the clubhouse for his services. But the Washington Wizards have pushed for more draft capital than the Lakers have been interested in giving up and also pursued D'Angelo Russell's expiring contract, league sources say, Irwin wrote. With Russell gone, the Lakers no longer have a mid-sized, expiring salary to offer to the Wizards. And with their remaining second-round picks not as great as the 3 they have surrendered in the Finney-Smith trade, getting Valanciunas to Los Angeles just got harder to pull off. Irwin added the Wizards have pivoted off the Lakers and is now canvassing the league for a better offer than LA can now make. With Valanciunas unlikely to land in Los Angeles, unless the Wizards lower their price closer to the February 6 trade deadline, the Lakers pivoted to add another center to their roster. On January 15, the Lakers waived fan favorite Quincy Olivari, a decision that did not sit well with their fan base and even some NBA reporters. A day later, the Lakers signed Trey Jemison III to a 2-year, two-way contract. Jemison made his Lakers debut against the Nets, producing 4 rebounds and 2 blocks in 15 minutes as the backup center. The 6'10" center was thrust into a big role right away after Anthony Davis was a late scratch with illness and dealing with plantar fasciitis. However, Jemison is not as polished as Valanciunas. Jovan Buha of The Athletic described Jemison as just an energy guy at the back end of the Lakers roster. Besides, players on a 2-way contract are ineligible to play in the playoffs. If the Lakers reach the postseason, they would need to have another solid big in case Davis falls to injury. Jackson Hayes is a decent backup but is not a capable starter in the postseason, unlike Valanciunas. Player grades, Lakers vs. Clippers. So much of the meetings between the Lakers and Clippers in the LeBron James-Ty Lue era play out the same way. I touched on this in the takeaways from my recap on this contest, but I wanted to expound upon it a bit. So often, the Clippers play out the game with more focus, more energy, more intensity, and they execute at a higher level. In lots of cases, that last point can be best seen in their three-point shooting. On Sunday, they connected on 11 three-pointers even despite missing a number of open looks. But the biggest difference between the sides comes down to identity. The Clippers have one, the Lakers don't. That's the byproduct of the Lakers having 3 head coaches since Lue took over for the Clippers. Perhaps Redick can be that guy for the Lakers, but the gulf between the two teams was evident on Sunday. So, let's dive into the loss. As always, grades are based on expectations for each player. A B grade represents the average performance for that player. A strong second half from Rui helped turn a fairly mundane first half into a solid outing. That isn't to take anything away from him, as he was important in the fake comeback in the second half. The hope now is that this is the spark to a string of good outings moving forward. The lasting image of this one for LeBron will be the missed layups in the second half. As the Lakers were coming back, LeBron started smoking shots at the rim. On one hand, that's brutal. On the other hand, perhaps the Lakers shouldn't put themselves in a place where they need to be perfect to get back into a game. It was a bit of a nasty game overall for LeBron, and the shooting numbers show that. Still, he felt like one of the few positives from the night overall. Lakers predicted to land $40 million center in massive trade. The NBA trade deadline is just weeks away, and teams have started to put themselves into position to make a splash. One team that is expected to be very active ahead of the deadline is the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles has competed well this year, but is at least one piece short from truly being dangerous in the Western Conference. But in this new trade scenario, the Lakers get the missing piece and round their roster out into form. The trade would be between the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks, landing center Daniel Gafford in Los Angeles. Using the SpotTrack trade machine, here is what a deal could look like. Lakers receive, Daniel Gafford. Mavericks receive, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2027 second-round pick. If this deal was on the table, the Lakers would likely run to the phone to make it happen. Gafford could seriously help Los Angeles this season and would give them another big to use in the frontcourt. Dallas may be hesitant to trade with the Lakers, but if Los Angeles added a first-round pick, even a protected one, a deal could be made. The Mavericks value Gafford, but he seems to be one of the more expendable players on the roster, likely because they don't want to part with PJ Washington. Gafford does all the little things well and could serve the Lakers strongly. The veteran center is scheduled to make $13.3 million this season and $14.3 million next year. His contract would fit in the Lakers' salary cap well and could give them some flexibility down the line. It's a team-friendly deal for a player who could play a large role down the stretch of the season. For the year, Gafford has averaged 11.7 points, 6.0 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and 1.4 blocks per game. Gafford doesn't space the floor, but having him on the court could help open things up for the Lakers with Davis. Davis wouldn't have to stay inside the painted area and instead could work on the perimeter. Gafford could man the middle, and he would give Los Angeles one of the best frontcourt duos in the NBA. It remains to be seen if Dallas would even trade Gafford, but for the right price, any player is likely available. This trade could change the trajectory of the Lakers season and vault them more toward true contention in the West. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Daniel Gafford? Leave your opinion in the comments.